Okay, hello. So I wanted to do this follow-on video from the last one regarding the Facebook ads and getting it accepted. So at the end of that video, I showed you that the ad got accepted, which was great. But then after 3 days, I noticed that it wasn't getting any leads, which is a bit unusual because the ad itself has worked before. And so this video, I just want to go over some general diagnostics once the ad's been accepted and it's running. What sort of things to look out for to make sure that it's running properly. If it's working, where to look. And if it's not working, just assessing each area to hone in on the thing which needs fixed. So um, yeah, so it was after 3 days I noticed that one, there was no leads coming in, and also they weren't spending the full budget, which was really strange. The budget was £30, and they weren't spending like 22, £23. So sometimes Facebook can be really, really weird. They were still reaching people, everything seemed fine, the costs were all okay, the clicks on the ad weren't that good, and the click through to the websites weren't great either. So there was something funky going on. Now what I'd done was I duplicated an old ad. Um, in fact, no, I didn't. I went into the original ad that worked. I tweaked it a little bit, just adding some new context because I've increased the price. So I was just writing some new information inside the ad. So it was the exact same thing. And I just republished it. So I'm assuming that Facebook's just been, I've done that many times before, but for whatever reason, something wasn't quite right in the ad. So I turned it off and I went back in, I created a brand new one. So I knew that there was something going on the ad level. There wasn't anything wrong with the website page. I wasn't getting any leads coming in, so it had to be an issue with the ad. So so what I done was I clicked create here and just created a brand new ad from scratch. And what I noticed is when you do this, I'll go through the process just to show you what I think might have been the problem. Facebook changes, the platform changes quite a lot in terms of how it works and what you need to do. So I'm assuming this might be a new thing that they've created. Um, but during the process, the last time I ran the ad, it was all the pixels were all set up. I had the everything set up properly. The page was running for leads, so it should have been tracking for leads. Um, but then when I went into this, might be taking too long to show you on camera. Sometimes it takes for ages. But when I went into this creation part and I went and I clicked on conversions, and now when I click on lead, there was a little like a yellow error box next to the lead, just telling me that there hadn't been much data passed through there. And I thought, well, that was strange because I've done plenty of leads through there over the past 30 days. So I don't know if it's a new thing where they change it regularly or you have to update something regularly. I'm going to shoot a follow-up video when I get everything loaded up properly because this is still not loading up. But what I had to do was basically just I reinstalled the pixel onto the page, and then I reconnected the thank you page when someone registers an interest in the gym. I re-registered that as a to tell Facebook that that's going to be a lead. So I just basically started the whole thing from scratch again. Normally I just edit the ad, turn it back on, edit the ad, turn it back on, or turn it off, turn it back on without any edits, or sometimes just duplicate it and then turn that on. And they have been working fine up until recently. I did have a little bit of a gap where I didn't use that particular web page to generate leads. I was using a different web page. So maybe there's like an expiration now of after less time they stop tracking leads. So you have to reconnect it potentially. I'll do a follow-up video and I'll show you all step by step what I done. But basically, I just created a brand new ad, started everything from scratch, and now straight away within a day, well, just about 2 days now, I've got 3 leads. You'll see that just down here. So it's recording the leads properly. Got 2 people booked into the gym within a day and a half. Bang, all of a sudden straight away. So that just goes to show that if, when something's not working, it's just to look at it all. So at first I was thinking, well, is it because I've increased the price? So like that emotional side was thinking, or maybe people aren't happy with the price increase. But when you look at it deeper, that something wasn't quite right. It's unusual considering, I've been running these type of ads for a good few months now. Facebook knows the kind of people who have an interest in my stuff, and they've been giving me leads constantly for 6 months. So it was a little bit weird that all of a sudden there was just nothing. It had something to do, I'm assuming, with that whole pixel setup. Maybe something wrong with the ad. Um, when I republished it, maybe there was something wasn't quite right there. Nothing major to not run the ad, but just something wasn't quite in sync, and Facebook was being a little bit strange. And one other thing that I did change, the last ad that I ran was a dynamic creative, where Facebook juggles two images all the time on the news feed, so it constantly swaps between different images. So every time someone goes on their phone, they see the ad, they're changing the images for you all the time, so you don't have to manually change the image yourself every few days. I had that set up the last time, it worked fine, but I thought maybe that's a reason why as well. So I went back to one image, and now everything seems to be working pretty fine. Leads are coming in within a day and a half, 2 days. So just wanted to give you that update from the following video, and to just sort of give you a little bit of some tips and some guidance and information on what happens if you're not getting any leads, and what to look for, where to look first, what signs to look for. And this is like a more of an overview video because it's still loading, so I can't show you in detail, but I'll get the right tabs up ready for the next recording so I can show you in detail what I've done, and also the exact things to look for when the ads aren't working specifically, because that was the issue. If you're not getting any leads coming through onto your website, onto any web page, or there's nothing happening after the Facebook ad, it means there's something wrong with the Facebook ad. So that was the diagnostic that I went for, and then dive in deeper. And sometimes the simplest things, like like turn it off and back on again. I did do that. That didn't work. So now I just thought, right, I'll create it all from scratch and go back to the basics, the bare bones, make sure everything's lined up properly, and then restart, and away we go. Okay, so I hope this video has helped to give you insight on what to do, and I'll shoot a more detailed one over the next couple of days. Take care.